G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic whatever time it is in your part of the world. If you're in Australia, it's early afternoon, and as you can tell, it's really bloody cold. Before I brave the cold weather, I thought I would do another video. Now today it's not going to be a review, this is going to be a collection video. Now I know a few of you have been asking about my French collection, and if I have French movies other than horror. So yes, I do. I have quite a few of them. So I'm taking this opportunity to show you all my French collection, and I don't want to make this video too long. There is a massive stack right next to me here, so I should get onto it very quickly if I want to make this as short as possible. So as I call the names out, I'll be putting them back in the shelf. So the first film we have is a Gaspar Noé film. This is very, very notorious, and this is Irreversible. You have to check this one out if you haven't done so already. It's a classic, but it's very extreme. A very, very good French film. Not exactly horror, but it does have horrifying elements to it. Another Gaspar Noé film, this is before Irreversible, I Stand Alone. Equally as impressive. I don't think it's quite as good as Irreversible, but still a very impressive movie. And they are two movies that you have to see if you're a fan of French cinema. Now this film I've talked about time and time again, Martyrs, classic horror. Inside, equally as impressive. This is my favourite French horror film. Frontiers, another very good horror. Switchblade Romance, aka High Tension. Alexander Aja, before he went to Hollywood and his standards started to drop. This one is his best film by far. Trouble Every Day, didn't really enjoy this one as much, but it's still one to keep if you're a French horror collector. 7 Days, this is actually a French-Canadian film, but it's spoken in French, so it qualifies as a French collection edition. In Their Sleep, I was really surprised by this one. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. One of the newer French horror films. Now, majority of these films are horror, but I do have other. So, Mutants, very, very underrated zombie/infection film. Very good, one of my favourites. Not a lot of people speak about that one. The Ordeal, I did a review of this in the House of Horror. Brilliant film, one of my favourites. This is a Belgian film, but spoken in French, so it does qualify as a French film, and it's also got French actors. The Horde, this is an insane, fun zombie ride from France. Really good stuff, really violent, just really fast paced. If you've got a low attention span, you'll still like this one because it's action every minute. Shaitan or Satan, Vincent Cassel, awesome, really bizarre, very different from your typical French horror, but very, very good. Very underrated. Once again, another film that not many people talk about. So, Lady Blood, I haven't seen the original Baby Blood. This is the sequel. Not very good. I was a little bit disappointed. I have Baby Blood in the mail coming very soon, I hope, but this one, it just wasn't very good, and I don't know that, I don't think a sequel was needed. But anyway, for a French horror fan, you've got to have it in collection, I guess. Them, a very suspenseful, very good film. I don't know if the Hollywood film The Strangers is a remake. It's very similar to this one, but I actually preferred this one. A very, very good suspense. Humaines, this is one of the weaker French horror films. I watched this again a few days ago, and I had a newfound appreciation for it, but still, it is one of the weaker French horror films going out there. Very cheap feel, but it was okay. Fears of the Dark, very good French animation horror film, something very different and unique for the collection. Stranded, this is a very new French horror film. A few people out there didn't like it, but I found it was really good, very suspenseful and very psychological, which is what I like. Eden Log, very different sci-fi sort of art house feel to it. I don't like sci-fi, but I still like this film because there's more of a horror element than there is a sci-fi element, but very good. High Lane, this is another underrated film. The first half was brilliant. It had brilliant rock climbing scenes. If you're afraid of heights, this one will get to you. It got to me. The second half of it, when it gets to the slasher, was a little bit weak, but the first half more than makes up for it. Very underrated film, and once again, not a lot of people have heard about that one. The Serpent, I absolutely love this film. It's a thriller, and it's a blind buy. I had heard nothing, absolutely nothing about it, but it was a superb film. If you're a fan of French horror, then you have to get this one. I didn't like the ending. It was a little bit Hollywood, but still a very, very good film and an absolute must for all French horror fan collectors. This is a French horror, but spoken in English, so it's a French production, French director, but it's an American sort of feel to it, and that is Rubber. I'm going to do a review of this very soon. It's a crazy film about a killer car tie named Robert. It has a lot more depth than you would think, so look out for the review when it comes. 13 Zamedi, a very, very good thriller, very tense about Russian roulette, and yeah, it's nerve-shredding, so definitely get this one if you have the opportunity. Another French thriller, Tell No One. Now, French thriller is just as good as French horror. They've got such a high standard in everything they do, France, and this one is no different. Thrilling car chase scenes, and it's a really good story, and will keep you on the edge of your seat from the first minute right up until the end credits. Now, it goes for 2 hours, but it doesn't feel like it goes for 2 hours because it's just really well paced. Mr. 73, I love this movie. Daniel Attiel and Olivia Bonamy star in it. It's the same director of another film that's going to be shown next. A police drama, but very, very dark. Philippe Nahon is in it as well. Very dark, very, very disturbing. It's a police thriller, and it's exactly that. It's a thriller, and it's really, really good. Very dark, very disturbing, very sad. Now, this is from the same director, Department 36. It also has Daniel Attiel in it again. He's a fantastic actor. I didn't think this was as good as Mr. 73, but it was still very good and still worth the purchase. This is a Belgian or French production, once again spoken in English. The same director of The Ordeal, Fabrice de Veltz, and this is Vignon. Very, very morbid, very disturbing psychological look at the trauma of loss. And I did a review of this a long, long time ago, so check it out if you haven't done so. But this is definitely a film worth getting if you're a fan of The Ordeal, because it has that same sort of bizarre feel than The Ordeal. Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is an action-adventure film slash horror slash romance slash drama. It's got everything in it. Very, very enjoyable. It kind of has the same martial arts scenes to that of a Hong Kong film, so it is a different sort of French film, but definitely one to get if you're a fan of that area. Lemming stars Laurent Lucas, who was also the guy off The Ordeal. I found this one a little bit boring. I had high expectations, but those expectations really weren't met. It was kind of boring. Very well made film, very creepy, but I just felt that, I wanted a little bit more. French gangster film, A Prophet. If you like gangster films, this is a must. This is about a young guy in jail who rises up the ranks and becomes a very notorious and powerful mobster. So if you're a fan of gangster films, then definitely that one is to see. Marine, Vincent Cassel. This is a 2-disc, part 1 and 2. Very good addition to get. Heart-stopping. This is just absolutely exciting, to say the very least, especially the second part. First part is really just a build-up, and the second part is just all guns blazing. I'll do a review of this very soon, but definitely gangster film fans, you will love this one. This is another Vincent Cassel film. This is his first film that he got attention for, recognition. That is La Haine. I can't pronounce it, but very good film, very real and disturbing in the fact of its realism. So definitely one to check out. It's in black and white, so it's very unique, but yeah, very good. It's regarded as a classic. Jean-Pierre Jeunet's Delicatessen. I love this one. Very morbid, very fantasy kind of feel to it. Another Jean-Pierre Jeunet film, The City of Lost Children. I like this one a little bit better than Delicatessen, but having said that, both of them were very good. And my favourite Jean-Pierre Jeunet film, Amélie. Fantastic, a feel-good film, just really, really good. Romance, sort of comedy. I don't usually like them, but I love this one, so it shows you how unique it was. Jean-Pierre Jeunet at his very best. The Villain, Albert Dupontel, directs this, and he also stars in it. He was the guy who was holding the fire extinguisher as he's bashing that guy's head in Irreversible. So if you want to see him in a different role, a very different role, then definitely get this one. This is just good, clean fun for the whole family. Just really enjoyable, and I highly recommend that one. And the last one from my French collection is The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, a powerhouse drama, very, very inspiring, and the things that this guy did in the condition that he was in was just really inspiring, and will make you feel really good. So that is the last of my French collection. It's an ever-growing collection. I'll be getting more and more, so in the future I might do an update. But that's how much I love French cinema. I hope you like this video. I hope there are a few titles in there that you might be interested in and might want to purchase. French cinema is my favourite. It is going from strength to strength, and pretty soon it will be the dominating force in the world, in my opinion, because everything they do just seems to turn to gold lately. So that's my collection. I hope you found some interest in it. I hope this video hasn't gone for too long, 10 minutes, but hopefully that 10 minutes just flew by. So that's it for today. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later.